Swipe, chat, date, delete. Swipe, chat, date, delete, repeat. It definitely becomes exhausting. Finding ways to stay motivated while dating can be difficult when it seems like you're repeating the same actions with no apparent reason to keep going. It gets tiresome to have the same first date conversation where you know precisely what you're going to say. Instead of going on yet another pointless date, I'd much prefer to stay in and watch The Bachelor or The Good Place. So, are you interested in knowing how to stay motivated while on the dating scene? Luckily for you, Manna member, you've come to the right channel. This video is about how to stay motivated while on the dating scene, whether it may be online or in person. Many people are faced with a lack of motivation when trying to date, and this video gives some great tips for overcoming that. People frequently claim that inspiration doesn't stay, according to Zig Ziglar. That's why we advise in taking a bath every day. Unfortunately, dating and relationships are fleeting in today's world. Especially after my participation in a reality dating blog where I went on 92 dates in New York City in a year and blogged about them. Trust me on this dating advice. I am fully aware of how fleeting many relationships are today and how challenging it is to figure out how to find love. A lot of people are being prevented from entering into committed relationships based on my personal experience and what I have learned from living through hundreds of clients. Many individuals in my neighborhood think that going out on dates is a waste of their time, effort, cosmetics, and hard-earned money. These people primarily reside in Los Angeles or New York. It's true, when daters live in big cities, the gap between the first and last dates tends to be much smaller. Blame it on the abundance of choices, the propensity for singles living in cities to be more career-focused, or the belief that the grass is always greener mentality that appears to be a byproduct of the online dating environment that is so prevalent in big cities. Maintaining your motivation might be as challenging as J-Lo's capacity to remain married when it seems like you are going on awful dates one after another. Get yourself together and treat every day as a brand new chance to meet your prospective last first date if you're losing hope and genuinely connecting with the people you date but still believe in love, like the wonderful Jenny from the block.
I'm still Jenny from the block.
Perhaps easier said than done, but if you put into some of the tactics I advise clients who deal with similar problems to yours into practice, your life will be a lot easier. You're in luck because I have the best dating tips for you when you're attempting to learn how to fall in love and draw people into your life. A marathon, not a sprint, is dating. The challenging part is that you might truly be doing everything correctly, but you haven't exactly encountered the person with whom everything clicks yet. Therefore, your motivation levels play a big role in your dating success. Can you continue to be motivated? Can you maintain your self-esteem long enough to follow our channel on this journey? And if you feel like your dating motivation is currently at an all-time low, we have 10 suggestions for you to attempt in order to recover them. The first piece of advice is to keep your expectations reasonable and keep your feet on the ground. Early on, having high expectations can sometimes lead to disappointments. So, if you're the type of person who wears their heart on their sleeve and you go on a date and click with someone, you're going to text your WhatsApp friends on the way home to let them know how excited you are. You've also met the coolest person. You must learn how to slightly rein yourself in at this point. Additionally, strive to engage individuals in more balanced ways. It might be as easy as telling yourself a mantra. I simply need to get to know them a little bit more, even though they seem lovely thus far. Another option is just to remind yourself. It's a good idea to stop yourself every time you want to compliment someone on how fantastic they are, how funny they are, or how they all have similar beliefs. And maybe because you only receive a fleeting first impression of someone during those early months of dating, you are not actually learning who they are in their truest form. Therefore, keep doing all that you can to keep yourself grounded in the moment and enable yourself to gradually develop your expectations around someone rather than getting carried away with that first impression. My second piece of advice is to always have a positive thinking. Be upfront and realistic about what someone can provide. One of the quickest ways to lose motivation is to feel like you are chasing someone who isn't returning the favor. If it doesn't fit with what you're seeking for, be brave enough to walk away. This may be due to the fact that you keep emailing a woman even when she doesn't have any availability for a date since you keep dating people. Somebody has made it apparent to you that they don't want the same kind of relationship that you do in either case. It's very simple to become demotivated the more good energy you expend on bad things when you don't experience that positive feedback loop. Talking positively about your dating experiences is the third piece of advice. I am aware that this is challenging and that you will want to message others to complain about how chaotic your love life is. Or, I recently met this completely insane person. I simply select the odd ones every time. Be extremely careful with the story you are telling yourself, your experiences with dating. Instead, it would probably be best for you to gradually adopt a more neutral viewpoint, which might be something like, I'm enjoying meeting lots of new individuals. I'm not in a relationship right now. However, in the end, I'd like to be. Or, when I connect with someone on a deep level, then of course, I'd be open to a committed relationship. Try to adopt a mindset where when discussing about your dating life, you don't talk about it like a chaotic disaster zone, but rather be more neutral and laid back about it. And this will also assist in altering your impression of what you are capable of. If someone gives you a justification for why you are dating, that's my fourth advice for keeping your dating motivational levels high. Life is just awful. You don't have to consider that. The fact that everyone has an excuse and an opinion for why you're single is one of the most aggravating aspects of being single. They enjoy telling you this, despite the fact that they haven't experienced your life or worn your shoes. They prefer to claim that your excessive pickiness and expectations are to blame. You lack reality. You must progressively get to know people. While there may be a grain of truth in this comment, you need to like other traits. This input doesn't have to become your tale. You shouldn't then begin to worry about your commitment or attachment troubles when you're out and about. Instead, you know what? Saying, I'm okay can actually be incredibly beneficial for you. I'm on my way to meet someone and I'll get there when it's convenient for me. Be cautious as a result. Take a break from dating, which is my fifth piece of advice. I can well recall how much I detested it when I was single. People advised me to sit on the rear bench when they told me this. You're making too many mistakes. Sit down now. And I don't mean it in a patronizing manner. What I mean by this is that if you feel as though you have been staring at the same obstacle for too long, or that you are actually banging your head against a brick wall and not moving forward because you are at loss for what to do differently. On occasion, we can become overly fixated on a single issue. We lose our ability to see things from multiple angles, to be creative, and to ask ourselves, how can I do things differently? What can I modify? Having a brief break where you cannot focus on the issue as a problem can actually just offer you a little mental breathing room where you may then come to a realization that it will make you happier if you're losing that sense of perspective. What do you know? I simply don't want to use dating apps at the moment. Before I go on a date, I want to meet individuals in person, or you know what, I'll just make a video call. Therefore, since we have some common ground, I can appreciate your desire to give yourself just enough time to reflect and come to the realizations that would enable you to make the change you require to maintain your motivation levels. Finally, to achieve your goals, change up how you meet people online, which is my sixth piece of advice. Dating can be wonderful. It can present you with numerous opportunities to meet people that you otherwise would not have had. But after using it consistently for some time, you can notice that you're responding to people more slowly. You notice that conversations are generally getting boring. They aren't engaging enough for you. If this is the case, stop using that technique of meeting people. And as previously stated, start being aware of all the various ways you might be able to meet someone, including local speed dating. One of the easiest methods to find new energy to tackle a problem is to check out, say, a pastime or an interest where you believe there might be lots of people you're interested in calling a matchmaker or doing something different. My seventh piece of advice is to consider whether going on a date with someone will boost your self-esteem before saying yes. Therefore, if you go on dates because you feel like you should, consider that you haven't been out on a date in a long time, at least if they like you or aren't that horrible. Take note of the voice you are using to speak to yourself about the date. If you are forcing yourself to go on the date because you feel like you need or should, this is not a good sign. Be open to them because, first of all, this isn't really setting you up to get to know this individual. Instead, it's conveying to you a really unfavorable message about what you should expect from your dating life. If this is where you are right now, it would be best to take some time and distance. Recharge your energy and then decide where you'll go on dates where you're least thrilled to meet people. Get clear on your goals if you're having trouble staying motivated to date and want to learn how to be more confident when you're out there. Practicing a little more self-care is the focus of my eighth advice for regaining your dating interest levels. I understand what it's like to have a significant objective, such as I truly want to build a relationship. You can put everything else on hold in order to go on that date, even if it means you have to disappoint friends or drag yourself out of bed late on a Friday night. You say this because you feel obligated to go on the date. Or you can agree to a date with someone you really shouldn't because you know they can't give you what you want or you're just not at all interested in them. But do it anyway because, oh my gosh, I'll have spent a whole weekend by myself. You should plan your entire weekend around this signal. Better more, how can you increase the satisfaction of that? How can you get more excited about that? Is it possible for you to treat yourself to something such as a new PlayStation game or a manicure? In other words, what can you do in this situation to make spending time with you more enjoyable? Since hanging out with oneself is eventually preferable to going on a date when one is 50-50. Choosing dates that you'll love is my ninth piece of advice. I used to drag a lot of guys to yoga lessons back in the day, even if we didn't click. Try to come up with original ideas for dates regardless of whether you feel a connection or if it will be enjoyable or not. We therefore turn away from the afterwork. Let's get a quick drink and shift our focus to going on dates, which will provide you with additional high-quality encounters. Think about other aspects of your life, which is my 10th and most crucial piece of advice. Is there anything stopping you right now from being as motivated as you need to be? Is it true that your job schedule is demanding and that you have very little leisure time? Do you really have a relationship with the person you're seeing? And are they fulfilling a lot of your requirements in terms of the relationship? Looking at your larger lifestyle and asking yourself, are there things going on here that are actually stopping me from feeling energized about dating or feeling excited about dating? May help you realize that you're starting to lose motivation to go out and meet someone who might really be open to being committed. Anyway, I sincerely hope that watching this film has helped you rediscover your motivation. Just keep in mind that there's a very big chance you don't have a serious health issue. Despite what everyone says, it might just be that you need a little motivation. Then your energy levels must increase again. As a coach, you need to stay out there for a little bit longer and find some inspiration. I am aware of how difficult that can be, but you can accomplish it. I also hope the advice in this video was helpful to you. That's it for this video, Manna member. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you feel like we've delivered value, please share this video with one person. That's right, just one person as a token of your appreciation for the hard work we put into making content that educates and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. Remember, you can watch video after video, but it isn't until you actually take action that you'll start to see results. See you soon!